the person who won the debate was not on stage. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you a recap of the very first GOP primary presidential debate of the 2024 campaign season. Now, you had 8 guys on stage, and in reality, only 2 of these guys actually matter, in my humble opinion, and the person who won the debate was not on stage, and that was President Donald Trump. He was not there. Of course, he was invited. He met the criteria to be there, but he opted out and instead did a Tucker Carlson interview, which aired on X, formerly known as Twitter. And if you want to see that full interview, I'll link to it in the box. If you want to see the full debate and clips and whatnot, I will link to that in the box as well. And before we get into the summary and the breakdown, I just want to address the elephant in the room for me. Now, normally when I do recap and breakdown videos of debates or other things like this, I would have video clips of the particular thing throughout my video, but I'm not going to do that here. Why? Great question. Glad you asked. Fox News put out a directive that says if anyone uses more than 3 minutes of the debate within their footage in the 7-day window of the debate happening, we may be subject to a copyright claim or a strike. So I'm not going to show any of their footage in this video. And that directive is the reason why I didn't stream it. On Wednesday, I 100% planned to show the debate. But then I saw that. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to show the debate. So I showed Tucker and Trump instead, which was really the better decision for myself, for the channel, for you guys. And if you were there watching that, when I hit 1 million subscribers, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. It was an amazing night. Now, before I get into anything else, let's back up a little bit here and address the debate. As I said, you had 8 guys on stage, only 2 mattered. The 2 that mattered, Vivek Ramaswamy and also Ron DeSantis. Aside from that, you had 6 more people. You had Chris Christie, Doug Burgum, Asa Hutchinson, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, and Mike Pence. That's your 8 that were on stage. Now, Larry Elder should have been there 100%. He would have been a great addition. He's currently suing the RNC because he met the criteria, but they were trying to say that one of his polls was thrown out because it was linked to the Trump campaign, meaning Rasmussen. And they said they're not linked to the Trump campaign. It's a whole big mess. But those were the 8, although only 2 mattered. Now, out of those who were on the debate stage, aside from Trump, who do I think did the best? Well, from what I've seen and from what I've read, it'd be Vivek. However, Vivek was also the worst. Or I won't say he was the worst, but he just confirmed what I already thought about him, is that he's a flip-flopper. He will say anything that you want to hear, whatever. Now, I first saw this about him when it came to Juneteenth, and people kind of gave him a pass because they liked the flip-flop. Let me explain. So on June 19th, he put out this glowing video talking about Juneteenth. It's a good holiday. It's not about flogging ourselves. It's about American history. This good thing. Happy Juneteenth. Now, my thing is this. If you don't like Juneteenth for whatever the reason may be, there's no need to put out a video on Juneteenth saying Happy Juneteenth. Just don't say anything. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Why would you say that if you don't like the holiday? Anyway, I digress. 6 weeks later, he is in front of a crowd talking about we should cancel Juneteenth. It sucks. Replace that with a one-day election holiday, some commie type stuff. But anyway, and then they're asking him, hey, do you think that Juneteenth is useless? He says, yeah, I pretty much do. But you were just saying it's a good day 6 weeks ago. But again, he was given the pass because many, they like to flip-flop. But then here we go with the debate. In his book, he wrote that January 6th was reprehensible and Donald Trump did a terrible thing. And he praised Mike Pence in his book. But then when it came to the debate and they asked everybody, hey, if you became the nominee and then you became the president, would you pardon Donald Trump in the event that he gets locked up, convicted, or whatever? Hands begin to raise. Not all hands raised, but Vivek's does. But he just said that January 6th reprehensible and excusable, and he praised Mike Pence. But now you're saying you're going to pardon Donald Trump. Another flip-flop. Then he was, and then the plagiarism, because he's talking about I'm a skinny kid with a funny name. That's Barack Obama. Chris Christie called him out on that, saying, hey, you know what I see right here? I see a Barack Obama. You'll say anything. You're a flip-flopper. And people kind of booed him in the debate, but he was right about that particular point. He literally stole from Barack Obama. He also called him out on the whole thing about the book. You know, you're saying one thing in your book and you're saying something else right now. It's weird. Vivek will say whatever you want him to say, but you know, the thing about it is it works. It 100% works because he did very well in the debate. Now, I'll give him credit. He looked very confident, and DeSantis, although I don't think DeSantis hurt himself in the debate. He did not elevate himself. And if you're trying to get a nomination over Trump, you got to elevate yourself. Vivek got elevated probably on the same level as DeSantis, if not slightly above. Well, DeSantis stayed right in the same place that he was. DeSantis did not look confident. Going back to a thing about raising your hand, if you're going to pardon Trump, if you become the nominee, you become elected, going back to that moment, Vivek raised his hand right away. Whether he believes it or not, it doesn't matter because it's the confidence. You feel like he believes it. DeSantis looked to his left, looked to his right, then raised his hand. You're not confident. You're a great leader of Florida, but you lack confidence. And people can smell that. They can see that. So you got a battle of two people. I think DeSantis is probably the better leader than Vivek because he's a proven leader, already a governor, great governor. But the confidence ain't really there, in my opinion. Vivek, on the other hand, not proven, will say anything, voted for the first time at age 35 back in 2020, not really involved. Okay, he has that going on, but he's highly confident, outside playing tennis with his shirt off, just, really a good personality. So you got a battle of two people that both have obvious flaws and obvious advantages. And everybody else kind of comes in second, Doug Burgum, shout out to him. I was calling him Ron Burgundy, but Doug Burgum is the governor of North Dakota. He has a pretty good fan base. People like Doug Burgum, but a non-factor. Asa Hutchinson, non-factor. Chris Christie kind of was a combative nature in the debate, but no real chance. Tim Scott didn't really say much. The thing about this debate was that there was quite a bit of bickering back and forth. And if you were not willing to overtalk somebody to get your point across, then you weren't going to be heard. Tim Scott didn't want to overtalk. DeSantis, same thing. A lot of people didn't really want to overtalk. Nikki Haley did okay, but again, not really anything to write home about. As I said, ultimately, the debate was between two very flawed but also very liked people in DeSantis and Ramaswamy. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, let's go to Trump. The interview was good. I think there was some editing, but it might not have been. I can't really tell. There may or may not have been some editing of the video. I presume there was. It was not live. It was pre-recorded and released right at the same time as the debate over on X, formerly known as Twitter. About 45 minutes long. And again, I'll link to that in the box if you want to see it. But overall, that was a pretty good interview. Some pretty tough questions. Tucker was like, well, look, they're trying to do all these things to you. What's next? You think they're going to try to kill you? It was some pretty interesting questions. Trump did well. At times, he would repeat himself, but that's not anything new. He would like, it's called trolling. We do a little bit of trolling. He'll repeat himself sometimes, but in this case, it wasn't just a phrase being repeated. It was like a whole explanation being explained 2 or 3 times in a row. So he did a little bit of that. Tucker did not really interject too much. He would just ask him a question and let him rock out, which can be good because you don't want the interviewer to overshadow the subject when it's Donald Trump, especially. Let him get his thing off. Let him say what he wants to say. Let him be uncensored and don't try to, shout at him and say different things like that. So ultimately, I thought it was a good interview. It would have been good to see Trump on the debate stage. And when I say that, people kind of get confused, I think. It's not because he needs to be on the debate stage. It's not because he needs to do that to get the nomination. I think the nomination is pretty much sewn up. I don't see anybody from the current pool of candidates being able to overtake Donald Trump in the polling. He's so far above and beyond everybody in the polling. I don't see anybody trying to. The closest guy is DeSantis, and he's not doing very well in the campaign, to be totally honest. He's a great governor of Florida, an amazing leader, but when it comes to this level, he's just not doing good. Bad campaign, lack of confidence. He's not doing very well. Vivek is doing good, but he is an obvious flip-flopper. He'll say anything, and he's easily exposed. So he's not going to be able to overtake. And nobody else in the race that we saw on the debate stage has a chance, in my opinion. So he doesn't need to go there for the nomination, but he should go do a debate for a couple of reasons. First, if he does not do a debate, then that opens the door for Biden to say that he won't debate when it comes time for the general election. If and when Trump gets a nomination and then Biden is a guy that they want to have run again, Biden will say, I'm not going to debate Trump because Trump didn't debate anybody in the primary. That's what's going to happen. And beyond that, Trump needs to be able to be exposed to a larger audience of people. Guys and girls that turn 18 for the very first time voting, people that are like 35 years old, like Vivek, voting for the first time. You want to be able to get everybody that does not really know you yet, who is not really sold on you yet, and you want to have every opportunity, take advantage of it. Okay, debate, commercials, interviews, campaign stops, do everything to promote yourself. That'd be my point of view. It's not even about trying to get the nomination and trying to battle for that. It's about using it as a platform to promote yourself. Again, the same thing as a campaign commercial. I've seen Trump commercials. Why can't I see Trump in the actual debate doing the exact same thing, promoting himself? But as I close, I want to say this. The interview with Tucker and Trump was good. It wasn't too long, wasn't too drawn out. They got straight to the point, asked some really heavy questions. The debate was okay. They didn't ask a lot of hard-hitting questions, though. A lot of kind of softball, easy questions. Nothing really that was too deep. Nothing about election integrity, whatnot. Although that was asked during the Trump-Tucker interview about election integrity. Was it stolen? What could have Mike Pence done? All this and that and the third. That was asked there, and there was a pretty good response. That was not a thing during the GOP primary debate. And I got to add one last thing. The GOP, the RNC, Fox News, I don't know what the problem is. You guys are trying to gatekeep the debate, trying to keep certain guys out, not trying to let the streamers be able to react to it. If you want to have anybody that's under age 65, and nothing against anybody that's over that age, but if you want to have the young people, the TikTok generation, even the millennial guys my age, if you want to have us involved with what's going on, if you want to have more of us vote for the GOP, you got to just open yourself up to the new world. Let us stream. Let us react to it. Let us go on social media and chop it up. You got to let us do that. If you're not letting us do that, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And if the objective of the debate is to try and get somebody to poll at the same level of Trump, you're not going to do that by gatekeeping it. While Trump is on X and everybody can watch it and it's not gatekept, and everybody else is on Fox and it's gatekept and you can't stream it, you can't react to it, what are you actually going to do for yourself? You're not hurting. You're not helping yourself. All you're doing is hurting yourself, meaning the GOP, the Republican Party, you're hurting yourself rather than helping yourself. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Who do you think won the debate? Was it Vivek, DeSantis, someone else, Donald Trump, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I think Trump most certainly won the debate, although he was not there, because he did not hurt himself during the interview. He did pretty well, maybe even a little bit of an uptick. He's pretty open and vulnerable and consistent. I appreciate that. The other guys, I mean, nobody did anything to propel themselves above where they were. And like I said, Trump is so far above and beyond anybody in the race right now on the GOP. It's not even funny. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.